Let's get into card. World premieres and imports. Some of these we've already seen before. Some of them are new. So not sure which ones are which, but let's do them. We've got from the Dude set, Disguise the Copycat Hero, level 4 Light Warrior. Tuner. You have an equip spell in your field or grave. Special this from your hand. This is normal or special. Add a Cursed Copycat Noble Arms from your deck to your hand. Okay. Is this an actual Infernoble card who is disguising himself? Is this the lore here? While this card is equipped with an equip, you can target a non-tuner warrior on the field with a level, and this card's level and its name become the same as that until the end phase. Sure, this is very specifically useful in a very specific case, but I don't know what. Equip monster gains 200 attack and defense for each equipped spell in your field of grave, and while this is equipped to a warrior, you can activate this effect to count special for the rest of the turn except Woya's. Special a Woya with the same attribute and levels equip monster with a different name from your deck, and if you do equip it, then destroy the monster that was equipped to. So, is this what you guys have been telling me is technically Warrock support? I mean, I guess it's sort of an E-telly, but destroying your warrior seems kind of bad. No, not Warrock support? Okay. Conceptually and individually, these seem and feel like good cards. Tuner, special summoning, recruiting anything from the deck seems very powerful. I'm just not sure what you would want to play this in. It seems very, very specifically broken in some sort of very particular combo, I guess, maybe. But just generically cool cards, I suppose, that maybe someone will take and make use of one day. However, any ranked environment of advanced current format Yu-Gi-Oh, I don't see where you're finding a place for these. Anyway, new level 8 generic Woya Tuner, so I guess this is what you're making with this, ideally. Monsters your opponent controls lose 400 attack for each equip you control. You can only following effect once per turn, target a other card in the field, and send it equipped from your hand or deck to the grave, and if you do, destroy that target. This is in your grave, you can target to face up cards in your spell and trap zone, destroy them, and if you do, special summon this card. It's a pretty good card. It's pretty cool. Pop an equip, pop a card, generic level 8, can kind of reborn itself if you've got two things face up, depending on the deck. That's probably quite easy and simple to do. It's neat. It's a good card. It's a good card individually. I'm not sure what you're very specifically playing it in, but it's decent. It's pretty decent. Next, we've got Faisan, Hunting Scout of the Deep Forest, a Woya fusion that requires 2 Earth Woyas. Unaffected by opponent's activated effects during the main only. During the battle phase quick effect, tribute this fusion card and then special 2 Earth Woyas from your grave except itself, and if you do, your Earth Woyas can't be destroyed by battle for the rest of this turn. You can only use the effect once per turn. So this is what you're telling me is Warrock support? Well, how are you making it? Don't just say polymerization. Like, like, how are you making it? Like, just natty poly? Instant fusion? Is that card legal in TCG? It's been a while. I know Kick Colossus banned, so I think that is the format that has it being legal. 2 Earth Woyas. Okay. So this is an Earth Woya that's level 5 or higher, plus an Earth Woya. So, unironically, I looked at Double Fusion first before I started this video, because I'd already seen this before, and I was wondering, like, wait a minute, this is like... I've already seen this card, but it's because it's an import, it's not a world premiere. So, technically, you can double fusion 2 Warrocks, plus this gets instantly fused into this with another Warrock. So, in a 4-card combo hand, double fusion and 3 Warrocks can do all this. Alright. Chevruil, Hunting Scout of the Deep Forest. Well, it's French, so, you know, it can't be a good card. Level 7 Earth Woya, 26, level 5 or higher Earth Woya, so that's this one, plus any other Warrock. Unaffected by activated effects during the main only. During the... your opponent's monsters that can attack must attack the monster you control with the highest attack. When another Woya you control destroys a monster by battle, you can special an Earth Woya from your grave or banishment. You can also use effect once per turn. Okay, so this is just better than this, right? This guy, this what, like, at least in the context of specifically Warrock, if you were to play polymerizations, this is just worse, right? Because this doesn't do anything. You need another monster and setup in order to destroy something in battle, to then bring this back, who then is able to bring this back, which that doesn't even work actually, because it's considered it needs to be tribute this fusion summon card. So this bringing this back to bring 2 guys back doesn't work, because this needs to tribute a fusion summon card. This is no longer considered fusion summoned when this brings this back. Lawyer game, you understand? Are we all clear? You guys follow? Yeah, so it sucks. Let me just see what this one does again. So it tributes itself quick effect during the battle phase, and it brings back 2 from the grave. If you do add Earth Warrior, your worst Earth Warrior wants to come destroy a battle for the rest of his turn. I just don't see like what this is doing in Warrock. It doesn't give you anything. All you're doing is going -1 with the poly, making this, then bringing the same 2 guys back to do what? What is the benefit? Why you bring back 2 guys that you were already going to put on the field with the mountain to do what? To make them indestructible by battle? Like, there's just no payoff to this. Like, I don't know. That'll give us a little context. Okay, sorry. Yeah, well, okay. Quick play fusion, Earth Warrior fusion from your extra. Use a monster from your hand or field. And if you activate this during the battle phase, you can choose monster your opponent controls up to the number of materials used from the hand for this fusion, and their attack become halved until the end of the battle phase. This is useless! Oh my god, if at least maybe this was like free, but it's not! From hand or field, if activate this effect during the battle phase, choose monster your opponent controls up to the number of materials used from the hand for this fusion, and their attack become halved. Like, really? It's just a minus, like, 2 fusion to what? Make your opponent's monsters lose attack? You cannot declare the attack this turn except with the Earth Warriors. Sure, that's whatever. It's just so useless. Like, it doesn't do anything. Like, you're just... There's nothing... I can't believe it's not good enough to play in Warrock. It's Warrock, what do you expect? Warrock has the machinations of a somewhat... I don't even want to say playable, to be honest, but it has a win condition. It has, like, tools available to it, and they didn't lean into any of those gimmicks, which is the battle phase. What was the gimmick here? What is this design-wise? What is this leaning into? What is it promoting and helping? I don't really know. Anyway, let's just move on. That was disappointing. Buying 17,000 copies of Warrock Mountain 5 years ago, I'll admit, was a mistake. Shouldn't have done it. Shouldn't have done it. Licorice Lily Reaper, level 5 Dark Plant Synchro, generically, tuner and non-tuner. If a monster is sent from the field to your opponent's grave, while this is in your monster zone even during the damage step, gain life equal to one of those monsters' attack in their grave, and if your opponent takes effect damage while this is in your grave, you can banish this and send a monster from the field to the grave with attack less than or equal to the difference in your life and your opponent. This is such a hyper-specific effect. Like, it's designed for something. Like, it's terrible. Okay, so yeah, but like, what is it for? Like, it seems like they've made this as a card that is designed to interact with a specific interaction of another archetype that has like a win con that deliberately does life point manipulation versus hand traps to then trigger it to do something. But I don't really know what deck is doing this. The Rose Dragons? Do they burn? Oh, it does, doesn't it? It does do burn damage. The problem is, like, that deck doesn't exactly shit out synchros. So, like, you're not really, like, making... I mean, maybe... So, maybe the idea is that you synchro into this, and then you synchro into the Bramble Rose, and then you set that up for your opponent's turn, and then this triggers in the grave when you use the Bramble Rose or something, right? Like... What really is the payoff? Send the monster on the field. Less than or equal to the difference in your life. So, admittedly, you're making it for, like, free, right? Because you're climbing into this. You're going into Bramble, or your Bramble setup, through this. So it's not bad, because you're just doing this for free, essentially. Right? So, you're essentially just doing your extra, like, combo that you were going to do anyway, except you're going through this. Right? So, I don't think it's, like... that bad. It's a free send in a very specific situation. It's not terrible. Rose can mill this from the extra. Dumping it directly from the extra. I guess if it does that, sure. You can also Ultimate Slayer it in that deck, maybe. That's a thing. Doesn't trigger any destruction effects, I suppose. Sure. Alright, let's see. We've got Silk Ball Moth here, level 6 Wind Insect. 2410 Monarch. If you have 2 or more winds in your grave and this is in your hand, special this and then shuffle a wind from your grave into the deck. If this is normal or special, reveal the top card of your opponent's deck and apply the appropriate effect. Monster, place it in your opponent's spell and trap as a continuous. Spell and trap, banish it. An extender that reveals the top card of your opponent's deck and scales it for whatever reason. Another anti-pendulum card, by the way. Theoretically. Oh, it's for the MST deck? Oh, okay, wait, that's actually kind of cool, right? Because leaving a face-up spell and trap in your opponent's spell and trap zone is good turn 1. Because it lets you use some of the names turn 1. Because I think they rely on having you activate MST immediately turn 1, right? So, isn't that really good? Typhoon wants them to have nothing in the back row? You can just pop your own stuff already, though? It's been a while since I read the MST cards. It's actually bad if the opponent has spells and traps. Oh, okay. Well, what was the point of this? If they're designing it technically to be MST support, but it anti-synergizes with the MST deck, why did they make this? Maybe it's not for the MST deck. Maybe it's a generic wind extender. What other wind decks are we playing these days? Isn't the MST deck literally level 6s and 4s? It must be for that deck, but it doesn't work with it. Confusing stuff here, Konami. Fleeting Flower of the Magician. Quick play spell. Target a face-up spell trap. Your opponent controls or one spell trap you control destroyed. If you target a card you control, you can apply the effect of place a monster from your grave in your spell and trap zone as a continuous face-up continuous spell dragon. Continuous spell. Did you know what I just subconsciously said dragon? It's because I was thinking of Snake Eye Doom Dragon. Add an equipper continuous from grave to hand. So this is like MST support, isn't it? Popping your own card to then place a guy face up? Or something? I don't know, man. I'm gonna be honest. Like reading like world premiere cards is very bizarre because they're designed for like extremely specific interactions. Like Necroquip Princess, for example, is like a very specific niche card. I say niche in the sense that like that is an extremely specific condition of like a monster fiend with an equip. But clearly it was made for Fiendsmith, because you just have any Fiendsmith and then you use Requiem, right? These ones seem a little bit more confusing to me, or at least, like, maybe not necessarily so meta-relevant. So half of you are arguing this is Doom Z support and isn't Doom Z. Alright, fair enough. So which of these new ones are... These cards are actually new? Because I think these are all imports now, right? Lunar Rammet Omajinai, a level 1 light spellcaster tuner. So these are all imports now. Okay. Alright, let's get into the cool stuff here. We got X-Saber. Actually, you know what? We've got replays for Tellarknight, so let's start with that. Alright, so I kind of know Tellarknights. Maybe not so much the newer stuff, but I'm very familiar with this deck. And if anything, I can tell you that this deck is probably in need of extenders, really. Tellarknight's like a cool deck. It's actually got some really crazy extra deck tools now. It's, you know, can you stick a normal summon, really, is Tellarknight's biggest issue. Constellar Castor. Oh, wow, redesigning Castor, I love that. 17/6, level 4 light fairy, can only effect once per turn. If it's summoned in any way, special a Constellar from deck, except itself, and you can't special from the extra for the rest of his turn except lights and darks. That's very cool. Alright. Notice that it says summoned and not normaled. So if this guy just hits the board, specialed or extended in some shape or capacity, it summons any Constellar from the deck, even the new ones. A Constellar XC that has this as a material gains effect. When your opponent activates a spell trap you can detach to. Is it going to say it? It's going to say it if you do. Quick effect negate. Woo! Let's go. Let's go. Fantastic. Love that. All right. So it's a good card. It's a really good card. Okay, sure, it's only spells, but you know, it's cool. I think this is clearly, you know, the best part of this is you're e-tailing a guy from your deck. Having a nice little... like, because the thing is, what do you want to end on? A Constellar XE? Did they make any new Constellar XEs that are worth passing on? Pallades is still good, I suppose. technically, but it has to detach. When your opponent activates a spell, you can detach 2 X-Saber materials from your monsters. That's pretty cool. You can detach from anywhere. Clueless? Oh, did they make a new one? Okay. Tellarknight Signi? Tellarknight Signian. Giggity. This card's always treated as a Constellar. You can only use the first, second, and third effect once per turn. Well, listen, if it's got 3 effects, it has to be broken. If this is summoned, you can add a Tellar or a Constellar from deck to hand. Any of them. Target one other light you control and increase its level and this by 1. There you go. This can be treated as 2 materials for the X of a Tellar X that requires 3 or more materials. You can just slap Ptolemaeus on top of this? I don't know if that's good, to be fair. 2 materials for the X of a Tellarknight X that requires 3 or more materials. So you can just, like, make, like, Deltaros or Triver, and then instantly loop a card out your opponent's hand, right? Doesn't Triver need, like, 3 materials? 3 level 4 Tellas. During the turn you exceed this, you can special tap this exceed, return all the cards on the field, and then detach one and loop a card. I think you can still do that, right? Detach 1 exceed from this and send a random card from your hand to the graveyard. Deltaros with 2 materials. Ptolemaeus is 2 or more. Okay, but Triver is just 1, right? You just slap this guy, Triver on top of this guy, and then you could just loop 1 card out the hand. Turn 1. I don't know if that's the correct combo you want to do. We'll look at some combos in a second. You can't do that? What am I misunderstanding? Why can't you do that? This can be treated as 2 materials for the EXE. Oh, right, because it's treated as 2 materials, but it requires 3 materials, so you still need 1 more. Oh, okay. Me when I can't just play Zodiacs, am I right? And then we've got a big-ass boss monster here. So, 3 level 7s? What is going on? X-Tellarknight Constellar Ptolemy Omega 7! Oh! Once per turn during your main phase 2, you could also X-E summon X-Tellarknight Constellar Ptolemy Omega 7 by using a Tellarknight or Constellar X-E you control and transfer its materials. While you have 7 or more Tellarknights with different names in your grave and or banishment, it gains 27 and is unaffected by activated card effects. Why are we making Noir into like the new deck? Like why are we doing that? Who asked for Noir? Because Yu-Gi-Oh players were so clearly excited about playing against Pearly Noir and how fun playing against Noir was. They decided to make another Noir. Why did they make another Noir? Who wanted more Noirs in the game? 54, 54? Yeah, so you know, it's pretty, loses to a Boral Sword. Unaffected by activated card. You know what's funny? It's the exact same as Noir because Noir loses to continuous effects. So, you know, Samurai Destroyer, get in, my friend. What's the other one? The Kashtira? Kashtira, Scareclaw, I think, can, like, beat over this. Once per turn, detach any number of materials from this and target that many monsters your opponent controls and shuffle them into the deck. It's just Noir! It's just Noir! Okay. Sure. Any number of materials. Once per turn, quick effect. Okay. Alright, amazing. Jesus Christ. What is this guy? Tellarknight Sacred Deltatheros. Tellarknight Constellar Deltaros. Rank 4 Light X-E, 3+ level 4s. Plus level 4s, by the way. So one of this and one of the other ones. Your opponent cannot target rank 5 or higher Tellar or Constellars you control with card effects. Detach material and add a Tellarknight or Constellar monster. And immediately after this resolves, you can normal summon. If this is sent to the grave except from the field, special a Tellar or Constellar from your hand or banishment. I mean, this all seems pretty incredible, right? Like, assuming that you can consistently summon this monster, this deck is going to be pretty damn crazy as a rogue deck. I'm still not seeing the biggest issue with Tellarknights to fix, and they just don't have a guy that beats a Solemn Warning, it feels like, right? Unless I'm misremembering, like, wave number 3 or 4 from the support. If you just Solemn Warning the first normal, I'm not sure how you keep playing, really. We have a combo, though. Let's check it out. Okay. Just to prove that it's a 1-card combo, we're activating, you know, the Jackpot 7 and... what's it called? Alright, so this is the new guy, the new Kaos. Not Kaos, what's his name? What was his name? The other normal summon. Pollux? Yeah. So summoning out Signy from the deck to add Ukulele. Combining to make the 3 material, because it's 1 material, technically, for this guy, that adds this guy to normal Ukulele. Ukulele then triggers off of this. Tellarknight Liran. This one is just like a Kage to Kage for Tellarknights, basically, right? So Unikali dumps Deneb. This one triggers to add Skybridge. Rank up into... Is that Omega Omega? Constellar Caduceus. Yeah, so this is like an older one. Returns 2 from the grave to the hand here. Detach, banish one. Add Caduceus, I think. Caduceus then lets you add another card. Combine them into Eclipse Twin, linking into SP Little Knight. Trigger the Equip plus this that floats back into this. How did we summon Deneb here? Do one of these guys have a grave effect that lets you extra normal? Because we just dropped this. Did he it? Is this one of the new ones? The grave effect? Eclipse Twin? It's not Eclipse Twin. Eclipse Twin doesn't say normal summon again. Eclipse Twin? What? Eclipse Twin doesn't have that effect. Okay, one of these guys lets you normal summon again. Into... Forgot this guy's name. Attaching from this. This one adds Altair. How many normal summons is that? It's like Fluonder, but space astronauts. Altair, target Ukulele. Climb up into an M7 with this. Skybridge Altair into Vegeta. On the new chain, Vegeta summon out this Altairan. Altairan target to send to revive the banish to go into the 5 material. X-Stellar, what's his name? The new rank 4. And then we activate Constellar Tellarknights. Bring back M7. Rank up into another M7. Triggering this to rank up into Ptolemaeus. Ptolemaeus detaches... That's skipping the opponent's turn, isn't it? That just... Okay. Okay, this sucks. Like, you don't want to do that. That's bullshit. But, like, I'm sure there's more, you know, reasonable combos that allow you to actually set up the towers thing. Does it actually end on the towers? So you skip your opponent's turn by detaching 7. And then you rank up into X-Stellar Omega. And then you pass, and then it goes back to your turn, and then, I mean, you just have, like, basically game on board, right? Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's 1-card combo. That's a 1-card turn skip, by the way. That is disgusting. A 1-card turn skip. If anyone else has any interesting combos, let me know. What is this here? This is my recommended. OCG players doing Mitsurugi for the first time is very funny. Alright, let's take a look at the new X-Sabers then. Sexo. Call to arms once more. Alright, we've got X-Saber Perina, Bruno, Duza, Brasil, and X-Saber Gotems. We have a main deck Gotems. No, this is Synchro 7 Gotems. Okay, so 3 new cards. Yeah, I don't know. There's, like, definitely not enough cards here to make this deck playable. I don't really know what the modern win condition of X-Sabers is in 2025. It probably is just like Ragi Gula set 5 or something, probably, I guess. Let's see what we've got, though. X-Saber Perina is a level 4 Beast Warrior tuner. You can use it for a side effect once per turn. If it's normal, you can send it to the grave, cost, and then special 2 from the deck, but destroy it. Have you noticed that they do this really often with legacy decks? They just give them like a rescue cat. Which is obviously crazy, but I mean, it's just like the most ashable, impermanable, breathable card in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Just like tribute for cost, go minus, and then, you know, get ashed, right? It's the theme of just rescue cat losing to any hand trap in 2025, but so it's gonna need some extenders. But hey, if you resolve it, it's good. You can't imperm. On summon, normal or special, sends it to grave cost. Oh, it just immediately sends itself. That's a bit... Wait, they just gave this priority! That's so funny! Wait, no, they basically gave it priority. Oh, that is hilarious. It's just on summon immediately for cost, tributes itself. It's just priority. That's insane. That is actually comedy. Oh my god. Wow. So... I think they were right about the time travel format. They're just like slowly implementing it into TCG. And so rather than calling it priority, they're just changing the text if you really think about it. Still ashable though, yeah. If this is sent to the grave as a material for a synchro of an X-Saber, it can make a second attack, and it can attack directly. Naturally, Konami's instinct with Warriors and Beast Warrior decks is to just give them, you know, battle tricks, because apparently that's the only thing that actually matters for that type of theme. Everything, just hit them hard, right? Glad Beast, just battle phase reliant. Warrock, battle phase. Lunalight, battle phase. The problem is that they actually gave Lunalight good cards. Unfortunately, we don't have good cards here yet. Well, I mean, to be fair, like, this is very open-ended. Eventually, they'll make an X-Saber that's worth summoning from the deck. And it might be Bruno, who's a level 3 Earth Psychic for some reason. Why is he a Psychic? Oh, wait. So X-Sabers are all Earth monsters, but they're all different types, right? I believe. Because technically they're supposed to be like hired mercenaries from different tribes and stuff, so they're all part of different races, and it's actually very cool dual terminal lore. But anyway, we've got Bruno here. He has the first and second effect is activate once per turn. If this card is in your hand, you can banish... Sorry. One other Earth monster from your hand face up field or grave, special this. Grave is pretty crazy. That's kind of sick. Just a free extender. So, you know, get ashed on this, clearly, inevitably, and then special this by banishing. If this is normal or special, add a Saber spell trap. Well, there's no new Saber spell trap, so can anyone think of any Saber spell traps? Because these things will be from, like, 2011. This might shock and surprise you, but I don't know any Saber trap cards from 2011. I think they have a crazy broken one, don't they? They have, like, an E-Telly for 2. Or, like, a double Reborn, but that's, like, a trap card. We're missing one spell from the support. Saber Hole is a warning. Saber Hole? I'm trying to see Bruno's Saber Hole, if you know what I'm saying. Sorry. Normal. Once per turn, during your opponent's main or battle, you can quick effect, immediately after this resolves, synchro using only Earths. So you want to end on this? So this guy must have an on-summon effect, right? Commander Souza, Swordmaster. Average Brazilian citizen, Commander Souza over here. He's got 25 attack, level 10 Earth Warrior. Tuner plus Earth, always treated as a Sex Saber. Gain 200 for each banished. When this destroys a monster by battle, draw one. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, tribute an X-Saber monster, destroy a card they control. So it's Detonator, but it has a cost. So, and harder to make. You see how card design works? Isn't that fascinating? It's Detonator that has to tribute, but it's once per turn, and it's harder to make. just bad, right? Just bad. Imagine I told you Detonator was once per turn, harder to summon, and had a cost, you know? Like, this card would be sick in 2010. This would be a good card in 2010. Okay, to be fair, it doesn't target. True. Yeah, that's all of that is worth not being able to target. If this would be destroyed by battle card effect, you could banish a Saber from grave instead. Okay, nice protection, to be fair, so you have to, like, you know, not destroy it. Why is it not a negate? Shut up! Oh, they have a 7. Okay. So, you want to make this and then summon this on your opponent's turn. But the problem is they just didn't give this an on-summon effect. Why would you make a quick effect synchro but not have some sort of on-summon trick? Well, this guy's going to tell us. Generic, tuner, non-tuner, level 7. You can only use first, second, and third once per turn. Synchro summoned. Here we go. Add a Saber. Or got him. Spell and trap. That's it. I'm definitely just missing something here. Why would you make support based around a quick effect synchro to not give any of the guys a on-summon effect on the opponent's turn? Like, that isn't that the entire time? Read Hyunley? Wait, is it one of the old cards? When this is synchro summon... When? Select and destroy up to 3 spells and traps. Okay, so it can miss timing and it hits spells and traps. Which is like, you know, great when it's end of main. But what deck is like setting spells and traps before they play? You know what I mean? Draco Tail, maybe. I don't know, I guess. You could pop some Draco Tail cards. Fair enough. I don't know, man. This is just not good. It's not good enough, anyway. Inflicts battle damage, discard a random card from their hand. Woo! That's kind of neat. When your X-Saber is target for an attack while this is in your grave, you can special this, then change the attack target to it. That's very funny. This doesn't banish itself. This is just a permanent, like, protection for all of your monsters. That's kind of hilarious. But, you know, battle phase in the big 25. We need to make that a new motto for card design and creating card effects on these things. Battle phase in the big 25. Because this is all, like, 90% of this support that we've read today is, like, this War Rock shit, some of these, like, free agent cards, all of these, you know, X-Sabers. Like, I don't know, man. All right, thanks everyone for tuning in. These are your new cards. None of this is going to be relevant, unfortunately. The Tellarknight stuff might be good, maybe, potentially. So, you know, make sure you imperm the Pollux, because you're gonna get turn skipped. It's like Ryan Yu, but instead of a 4-card, you know, shitty world combo, it's Tellarknights. Yeah, so Ryziel Tellar's on the horizon. See you in the next one.